I feel like I'm going insane. It's too light. It's too dark. Wait a minute. I've been feeling a little bit down about my art. I've been comparing myself to others a lot lately, and it stops now. And what better way to boost my ego than to redraw something from a long time ago to make me feel better about my art? Now, in the past, I've redrawn pieces from 6 years ago, 8 years ago, heck, even 11 years ago, but that's too easy. Of course, I draw better than I did when I was 17 years old, so I'm gonna redraw what once was my favorite illustration of 2020. Heck, this piece is even in my art book. That's how much I love this piece. But looking back now, I just don't think it's that great anymore. And I know some of you are gonna say when I'm done with the new piece, like, oh, I like the old one better, but I plead you in my fragile state. Do not give me any type of feedback. Ever. I'm not interested in hearing anything negative at all, ever. And truly, if I could not draw this better than I did 4 years ago, then I'm going back to bed. Before we start, did you know I have a Patreon where I have tutorials and long process videos and expanded YouTube videos? And I have a Discord where you can send me stuff and then I could feature you in videos. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's start drawing. Let's see what I can do here. So I really don't like drawing live. I'm gonna just throw that out there. I get really nervous. I actually did a drawing last night and it took the longest amount of time ever. And it was the simplest drawing. And I was really upset. So I feel like I am not on my A game right now. And I really got to get out of this rut that I'm in. So I feel like it's gonna take a long time for me to get this sketch. So I'm starting with like an absolutely super rough to kind of get back into it. This is a lot rougher than how I usually start. Like I said, I am not vibing today. So she's got a little bit of like a hat, like an almost smile. These like downturned eyes. Like I like the way I did the eyes back then. And they're like these like almost dewy eyelash, like eyes barely looking over the lid. So I'm gonna try to keep going there. And then because we don't see the other eye, I'm just duplicating it and like kind of putting a really basic placement just to understand like the cheekbones and how the face connects. I don't know why. My mouth is like super wide open. Fine, let's do that too. Okay, I'm actually not gonna make her mouth open. This looks crazy for some reason. I just wish I was feeling like myself. I wish that like drawings are turning out the way I want them to. And she's got these leaf earrings. Okay, I'm gonna go on with a little bit of a tighter sketch. And she does have a gap in her teeth. So let's throw that in there for her. And I know in the original, there's like kind of these scalloped edges and they're a little bit like a little rounder, but I'm kind of more interested in, I don't know, maybe something sharper. Like I usually like kind of sharper shapes. So let's see how that goes. You know, in that original piece, I never liked how her neck was so incredibly thin. I feel like the perspective of her chin just wasn't doing it for her. I'm really excited to make her neck a little thicker. So it actually looks like it's holding up the weight of her head. And I also never liked under the chin, like the shading of the neck is so flat. Let's see what I'll do this time. Okay, now it's time to see what a grapefruit looks like. You see, that's the thing. Did my original drawing look like a grapefruit or an orange slice? Like, the piece was titled Grapefruit, so I'd like to be a little more true to what a grapefruit looks like. And I'm wondering if I should throw in some dimension. I feel like it was very flat. I did this on Procreate, and I was like really relying on brushes, I think, to make the piece come across. Okay, so I have this tighter sketch, and it's kind of the base. Let's give it a little flip to see if she works. Ooh. Okay. Oh, why does it look crazy? Okay, I think that maybe the eye is a little bit too far. I think. God damn it. Okay. The face looks like it's drooping immensely. And I'm trying to keep the vibe of that original one. So, like, it has that droopy eye. I still want it to be based a little bit more in realism. I feel like my art is a lot more based in realism than it used to be. Okay, but I think it's allowed to be a little weird. A little bit more of a snatched brow. Why not? And then I think we can fix the rest with a little bit of rendering. I'll play around with that when we get to it. I kind of like it flipped the other way, but it's not the assignment, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do a little bit of color picking, but I'm going to change it a little bit to reflect my updated sensibilities of color. Just a really quick block in, and now a little bit of a tighter block in, because it looks like what I have in the original is that, you know, the background is lighter than the characters. So let's push that a little bit more. Get this beautiful brown hair. You know, it's really important that I get these like base colors pretty much to what I want. So then like the next steps will be very easy and straightforward. I also had these really thin leaves, probably not of an actual grapefruit tree because I did not Google that when I did this, but I like a much thicker approach now to like design in general. So a lot of everything is just going to be a lot chunkier. I love a chunky look. And these are placeholders as well. We'll see what we can come up. And I think it's really important that I get the same eye direction, or like everything could be different. And as long as the eye direction is the same, I feel like it'll feel very similar. She has a huge pupil. Oh my God, have I regressed? I feel like I have no idea how to paint this anymore. You know, I think that once I get this eyeliner out, maybe everything will fall into place, because the eyeliner is like such an important part for this drawing. So maybe that'll be cool. I feel like everything's too thick now. I feel like before everything was too delicate, and I'm trying so hard to get away from that now everything's just like nothing is delicate. I'm gonna move on and then I'm gonna come back. That's usually the way to do it. When I tell you I haven't struggled like this in a long time, I really do mean it. Okay, let's move on to hair. I can't deal with this shirt right now. I'm adding some like pretty flat circles around there. I don't know, it kind of gives it that flatness that I had in that first pass. I'm wondering if I'm not stylized enough. Maybe the issue I'm having is that I'm trying to make it like more realistically rendered than like in the first pass. And maybe that's why I'm struggling so much, because, and I also feel, honestly, I feel a lot of pressure to make it better, because 2020 isn't that long. So like, it's pretty fresh, I think, and it's really not that old and not that bad. So I feel like I'm like trying to prove something to myself by making this piece quote unquote better. And like, what does even better mean in this context? I also definitely acknowledge that I'm being really hard on myself. I put myself in a hole because I've made the shading quite realistic, and then I don't really know how to do it. So like the light source is often a bit janky. Yeah, I really like this look that's like almost mixed media with like scratches on top of things. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm adding some shading, some interesting shading, but I'm also adding like in this corner, it's not just like gonna be pure dark. It's gonna come back into a little bit of, oh, it's on multiply, that's why. It's gonna come back to a little bit of lightness because there's light coming from behind her. So that's the idea, what I'm doing there. I feel like I'm missing a lot of interesting textures, so that's why I have to go back in with and kind of see where I'm missing something. Even in the skin tone, like there's not a lot of interesting changes of color. So let me see if I can throw that back in there. I don't know, skin tone has always been something that has been difficult always for everybody all the time. Okay, so here's the problem. It's way too dark on parts of this shirt, I think. I think that's what the problem is, and that's why I'm so upset. Like, is it the shading on this glitter? Or is it the dark bits here? Well, I'm trying to do got some shadows underneath, so to keep that realism, but maybe I'll try a different approach. Maybe I'll try a multiply layer. This is starting to piss me off now. Let's see if adding some texture, God willing, Well, okay, it's kind of cool. But is it too much? That's the thing. That's the freaking thing. Okay, maybe, okay, I feel like I'm losing my mind right now. Maybe what I'm needing is like a highlight from above coming on in. And that's like helping set her in an environment. I haven't even done the grapefruit parts or the hand parts, but I really want to try to make, I want to try to make me happy. It's funny because like I'm telling you right now, like, oh, I'm struggling so hard, but I don't usually struggle this hard. But I feel like every video I post is me struggling immensely hard. And I think that's on being camera nervous. Okay, is this helping? Let's find out. Is the light above? Okay, is the light above kind of helping? Is it helping the realism? Probably. Am I being true to the original? No. Well, yeah, sure. I could change things. I don't usually like a light above, but I'm honestly so pissed off right now. And I think it's time that I start on this grapefruit soon. I've been really putting it off for quite a long time. All right, let's get that grapefruit done. So I'm going to keep it quite stylized. That's what I had in the first one. And I think it looked great. So let's see how I can do that again. Okay, grapefruit-esque. It's fine with you also. It's fine with me. You know what? I think this is much smaller than an actual grapefruit slice. Yeah. If it's fine with you, it's fine with me. I don't like it. Don't like the way the grapefruit looks. Let's tilt it a little bit. Maybe it's too detailed. I feel like I'm going insane. It's too light. It's too dark. Wait a minute. Okay, no, I'm not gonna do that, but I am gonna complain about it. So we have that. The original was super cartoony, and this one's not. And with that comes the struggle of, should I keep some things cartoony or should I light some things a little bit differently? So that's where the struggle is really coming from, because I think everything is like pretty based in reality. But honestly, I've been through the ringer today and I have to move on. Okay, but if it doesn't look like a grapefruit, then the whole thing's ruined. We're gonna circle back. That always seems to work. Whenever I circle back, I am less mad than I was moments ago. Okay, a way that here's a little trick for me. Is something not to your liking? Add freckles. It's easy and it looks better with freckles. Everything always does. It looks a little more textured and, dare I say, more realistic. So I'm gonna go a little crazy and I'm gonna add some freckles. Look at that. Didn't that just make her look like she's been in the sun and enjoying herself? I love that for her. Maybe this is too flat. Maybe the problem I'm having is this is like straight across and it needs to have a little bit more volume. Okay, I'm gonna go and do the leaves behind her. I'm actually coming to the end of my patience here. If you cannot already tell. Oh, she has a ring on her finger. I noticed. That's cute. Let's throw that in there. But in black and white, I don't think it looks bad. I'm gonna try to go in with like some bigger shapes to like, I don't know, push some things further back, like really zoom out. Because if it looks good from afar, then chances are it's gonna look good up close. Maybe what I'm missing is a little bit of texture in the background. Maybe I need some of this. Maybe I need some of that. Okay, I'm gonna sign it now. Because if I keep going, I'll just probably keep going forever, and that's not good for anybody. The problem is definitely the grapefruit. I'm not a fan of the grapefruit, and I don't know why. Okay, well, how about this? I am willing to accept criticism on this grapefruit if you guys will comment below and tell me what I did wrong, because I have no idea. Maybe it's just that it's too realistic for what's going on. I'm done. I'm done here. Okay, perfect. All right, and there you have it. You know what? Looking back at this drawing after like looking away for a few minutes, it's pretty good. I feel so dramatic because like during the process of making this piece, I'm just like the whole time like, oh my god, this is the worst thing I've ever done. So if you like it, let me know in the comments. If you don't like it, don't let me know in the comments. I don't want to hear it. I think the style is so different than my 2020 version. This version has so much more rendering and like a 3D look. Like you could almost rotate it in real life, which I think is like really cool. And I could not have done that before. Like I feel like in the past few years, I've really been focusing on my rendering skills, and I think it really shows. Let me know what you think. Smash that like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill. And I'll see you for the next video. Okay, bye.